My friends, we are back for another live video, and I am so thankful that you are here. So today we're doing more math, and we're going to focus on composite shapes. So composite shapes are really just when you have two shapes and you combine them together, okay? So here's a little shape that we have here, and essentially I can break it apart to find the area, which is essentially two shapes that are glued together. Okay, but before we get started, I want you to comment below and tell me where you are from. I love to hear where different people are visiting from. And I also have here in the link tomorrow and Wednesday, I'm actually doing a live stream. It's a masterclass. 86% of people that I surveyed said that they need a little bit more help on the essay. And so I'm doing a class. It's a live class like this, except it's not on YouTube. You have to register for this class. So definitely make sure that you click on that link and join my masterclass if you haven't yet. You definitely want to make sure that you're there because the essay is on the GED and the essay is on the HiSET, and I have the perfect technique that will help you pass that essay. So you want to make sure that you're going to be there. So click that link and join. Okay, so composite shapes. Whenever I'm looking at a math problem or math, geometry, anything like that, I always like to give some life to it. Okay, so I'm a baker. You may know that. I love baking. And so what do we have here? A pan of brownies. Okay, this is a pan of brownies. I make treats for my students every week, and today I'm going to make some brownies. So I'm excited to make my students some brownies after this. So we have a pan here. It's a 13 by 9-inch pan, and I want to figure out how many brownies, or I guess what is the area of the brownies that I have left on my pan, okay? So you can see here, I already took a bite, right? I took a 2 by 2 piece of brownie, right? A 2-inch by 2-inch brownie out, and how much is left. So that's what we're going to do here today. We're going to figure that out, and it's a composite shape, and this is definitely the type of thing that you're likely to see on your GED or your HiSET test. Okay, so we need to break the brownies in half, okay? Not exactly in half, but turn it into two shapes that are going to be a little bit easier to figure out what the shape of the entire thing is, okay? So I'm going to cut my brownies right here, okay? My husband always likes when you level off the brownies. So we're going to level off the brownies and view it as two separate shapes instead of as one whole shape, okay? So we have this shape right here, and then let me get my marker, and then we have this bigger one right here, okay? So do you remember what the equation is to find the area of a rectangle? If you remember it, type it in the chat. The area of a rectangle. How do we figure it out? So we're going to go length times width. Okay, so area equals length times width. So let's start off with the small brownies, okay? This portion right here, the green portion. So we know here that, look, it's two right here, okay? So that is going to be the width. So I'm going to redraw this shape, okay? So here's our smaller shape. So I have my length, which I don't know what it is yet, but I know my width is going to be 2. So now I have this amount right here left on my brownie. So how do I figure that out? Well, I know that this is 9, and look, 2 inches were taken away. So I'm going to cut off that 2 inches. So I have 9 minus 2, right? This 2 right here. Whoops, there it goes. I just erased it, and I don't. Oh, here we go. Let me get my 2 back up here. Okay, so 9 minus 2 is going to be 7. So what am I going to do? My length is 7. My width is 2. Length times width. Oh my goodness, you can't even see it because my camera isn't showing it. There we go. So length times width, 2 times 7, of course, we know is 14. So this is going to be 14. Now let's figure out the bigger pan of brownies. But I want you to comment down below. Are you more of a cake person, a cookie person, or a brownie person? Put it in the chat. Tell me, which one are you? Okay, so now I have this here, this green section. Okay, so I'm going to draw my green section right here. So now I have length times width, right? I'm still doing that. Oh, comment, tell me, are you a cookie, brownie, or cake person? So I have 9, right? This goes the whole way. So that is 9, right? So that is going to be my length. So I have 9 times, what is my width? Now, yeah, someone says here, Real Talk says, I don't know. Maybe I'd say like all of it, right? All sweets. So I have 13, but I took a chunk off, right? Remember my husband, he leveled it out so we can't see all the brownies anymore. So he leveled it off, so it's not 13 anymore, right? What is it going to be? 13 minus this 2 that we have right here. So 13 minus 2, which is 11. So now I just go 9 times 11, which we know is 99, okay? And now we just add it all together. So we're going to add the 14 plus the 19. So 14 plus 19, and add this up. I've got a 3 carry. Sorry, this is a 99. carry the 1, and I have 113, and this is going to be inches squared. So that is going to be my pan of brownies. The composite shape of this whole thing is 113 inches squared. Now, if you have not already registered for my free writing class, I'm going to type it right here in the chat. Definitely join this masterclass. 87, I think, percent of you indicated that you need a little bit more help on your writing test. And so that's why I'm providing this free webinar. It's not on Zoom, or it's not on YouTube, it's on Zoom. So you definitely want to make sure that you click that link and join my free webinar. You have to register for it. So you have to click the link. It's tomorrow at 9 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock p.m. And then also on Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. So definitely make sure that you join that webinar, because you're really going to gain some important keys that are going to help you with your essay. So make sure that you join it. Okay, and we've got Ray from Connecticut. Ray, I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you for joining us. Everyone else, comment down below and tell us, where are you coming from? I love geography to see where people are from. And while you do that, I'm going to erase this and we will do another one. Okay. All right. Looks like Arkansas. Rebecca, I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome from Arkansas. Other people, comment. Tell us where you're at. Okay, so we have here a basketball, okay? A basketball court that we're going to do now. So again, we're doing composite shapes. If you're new to the video, a composite shape is when we have 2 shapes that we're kind of gluing together. Really, I should probably go like that though. Okay. All right, looks like we've got Illinois, welcome, and Myanmar. Oh my goodness, foreign people, I'm so glad that you're all here. From the Bronx, fantastic, welcome, welcome. So happy that you're all here. Okay, so like I told you, I like when we have problems that are more realistic, okay? When I just see a problem, a math problem, I don't always want to do it, right? Because I need to see purpose. I need to see reasoning, right? That's why in that last one, we had a pan of brownies, right? And this one here, we have a basketball court. Okay, looks like we've got Marie from Louisiana. Hi, Marie. I'm so glad that you're here. Okay, so I'm going to draw my line again, right? I wanted to erase it because they don't always provide you the line. So now I have my line. And notice here I have a rectangle and a half circle. Okay, so we're dealing with basketball right now. And so this part right here is called the point, and this part is going to be the key. Now, fun fact, I'm really tall, but I did not practice basketball, and I'm just not very good at basketball. Maybe if I was trained well when I was younger, then I would be a little bit better. But for as tall as I am, you'd think I'd be good, but I'm not. So I needed to. My husband told me this is point and this is key. I needed to learn that. Okay, I don't know if you knew that or not. Okay, so I'm going to say that this is 12 and this is 10. Okay, so those are the only two numbers that we're working with, and we need to figure out the entire area of this composite shape. So let's do this. Okay, so we're going to break it into two different parts. And so what we have here is we're going to start with the point. Okay, so I'm going to shade the point like this. So as we did in our last one, we know that a rectangle has length times width, right? That's how we find the area of a rectangle. So our length is 10, right? Our length is 10, and our width is 12. So now I'm just going to go 10 times 12 is 120. Okay, looks like we've got another friend from Boston. I'm glad you're here. Glad you're here. Now let's do the key, okay? I'm going to switch that to green. And what have we got here? This, it's not a circle, but it's a half circle, okay? And actually, when I was doing my key, I did not do it as a half circle. So my answer is wrong as I was practicing before. So sometimes it's really important to just think about, oh my gosh, I made a mistake. And we know that on that on that multiple choice, what are they going to do? They're going to have the full circle, and I would have gotten it wrong because it's not a full circle, it's a half circle. So really think through, does my answer make sense? And my answer didn't make sense at all. And I'm like, this doesn't seem right. But then I moved on. So that was not good of me. So make sure that you're really thinking through and making sure that you know the right answer. Okay. So the area of a rectangle. Quick. What is it? You're like, I don't remember. You're in luck, friends, because that will be on your formula sheet. Whether you're taking the HiSET or the GED, the area of a circle is on your formula sheet. Okay. But I know here, okay, let me draw it. Kind of looks like a D, right? So the area of a circle equals pi r squared. Okay. But even though we have the equation, we need to understand how to interpret it. Okay. So I just have a half circle, right? I don't have the whole circle. So I'm going to get this answer and then I'm going to chop it in half. So pi, I'm just going to leave like that and we'll do pi in a second. And then I have r. What does r mean? R is radius, okay? So if I were to go to the middle of my circle and then bring it down, I mean, I could do it anywhere. I could do it over here, over there. The middle of the circle to the outside, that is going to be the radius. But I know you're thinking, Michelle, I don't know the radius, right? I know that the diameter, which goes from one side all the way to the other side. Think about when you're cutting a pizza, you go from one side all the way to the other side, right? That's the radius. Oh, sorry, that's the diameter from one side to the other. But half of that is going to be the radius. And that's what we need here. We need the radius, not the diameter. So we're going to take half of 12. Half of 12 is 6. Yes. So 6 squared. So my area of my whole circle, not just, I'm just going to draw that so that we remember, whole circle is pi times 6 squared. Okay, so we need to make sure that we're following our order of operations. And we have 6, so we have to follow PEMDAS, right? PEMDAS, right? So we have the P is parentheses, no parentheses here. Exponents, no, we do have an exponent, right? 6 squared. So what is 6 squared? So what is 6 times 6? 36, right? So now we have pi times 36. Okay, now pi is really just going to be 3.14159. It keeps going on and on and on forever. But we have our calculator. Those of you that were with us last week, remember the calculator, I guess 2 weeks ago. Pi is going to be this number. I guess it's this sign right here. So what I would do on my calculator is I would go pi times 36 and then enter. Or I could even just go pi times 6 squared. Okay, that would work too. But we're going step by step here. So pi times 36, and friends, I did it for us. So I have 113. And this is why I told you before that I made a mistake when I was practicing. I had this, and then I added it to the 120. And I'm like, this just doesn't seem right. Like, it doesn't seem like the area of the point is the same as the area of the key. The key looks so much smaller than the point. So this doesn't seem right. And you know, and I know that that will be an answer, right? Adding up the 113 and the 120 to 233, that's totally going to be an answer. And if you don't cut this one in half, you're going to get the answer wrong. So really think through, does my answer make sense? Okay, so what we said here is we're not doing 113. Instead, we're going to chop it in half, divide it by 2, right? And I get, let's see here, 56.5, right? Okay, so now it's starting to make a little bit more sense. So I have 56.5 plus 120, and I'm going to add these together. So I have my 0.5, 6, 7. So the area of this basketball equation is 176.5. And you're always going to want to make sure that you go, so this is going to be feet squared. Okay, when we're dealing with area, we need to go squared. Okay, so looks like we have Connie here. Connie, thank you so much for your kind words. I appreciate it. She says, I love the way you teach and you make it fun and understandable. Well, thank you. I definitely love being here and I love teaching. It's fun to teach on Zoom. Okay, and you're from Phoenix. Awesome. Welcome from Phoenix. And we have Michelle, another Michelle. Michelle, I'm sending you my my fist bump with the little sprinkles there from Chicago. Michelle, I am sending my love for, you know, we have this special Michelle connection. So welcome. I'm glad you're here. Anyone else? Comment down below. Tell me where you're from. I'd love to hear. And if you haven't already, I know I've said this a couple times in the chat, but there are a few new people. If you haven't already signed up for my live free webinar that is going to be tomorrow and on Wednesday, definitely make sure that you do. It's going to help you with your essay. I have mastered how to teach my students to pass the essay. 95% of them pass every time. And I want to give you my tricks, all my tricks so that you can pass the essay too. It is a webinar that you need to register for. So definitely click that link and register for the webinar. Okay, I have one more. Do you want me to do one more, or do you have another question that you would like me to do? I'm going to erase this and you tell me if you want one more or if you have another question. Okay. All right, one more. Connie says one more. Connie, you are on it. This time we're going to figure out the composite shape of a doghouse. Okay, so we're dealing with three different shapes, or I guess in this lesson, three different shapes because we really want to make sure that you practice area of different shapes and then adding them together. Okay, so here I have a doghouse. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I have 8, 5, and then this is going to be 6. Okay, so this is what it looks like here, my little doghouse. So we need to find our shapes, right? And a lot of times it's going to be even a little bit trickier than what we see here. Oh, I see lots of people saying one more, please. The doghouse, you're on it. Okay, so I'm going to cut my shape. And this is a nice easy cut shape, right? I mean, I could cut it other ways, but this is just the easiest. So we're going to go with this shape right here. So let's do this shape. I'm realizing that my shape is not, this is a square, and really it should be more of a rectangle based on 5 and 8, right? Okay, there we go. There we go. So type in the chat and tell me, what is the area? How do we find the area of a rectangle? What is the equation? Type it in the chat. Area equals length times width. Okay, so length times width. So I have 8 times 5, which is 40. Now we're going to take the top. Okay, yes, I don't know how to say your first name, but Boston Cookies, yes, length times width, you got it. Now we have our triangle. How do we find the area of a triangle? So I'm going to turn that so it's green so we can see it a little bit better. And I have my area of a triangle. And area, this is going to be on your formula sheet. So don't worry if you're not. It's on the formula sheet, so you don't have to memorize it, but you do want to make sure that you're well practiced and that you remember how to use it, okay? So area equals 1/2 length times width, okay? So I want to just show you something really quickly that helps me remember that. So if I have a square and I cut it like right here, what do I have? 2 triangles, right? So it's like a square or rectangular, and it's cut right down like that in my hypotenuse, okay? So from corner to corner, kind of like how you measure a computer screen or how you measure a TV. So if you have a 36-inch TV, it's measured from right there to right there. I think my computer screen here is like 17 inches, so it's measured from one side, from the top of one corner down to the bottom of the other, okay? So that helps me remember that this is half of a triangle, or half of a square or a rectangle, okay? All right, so I have 1/2 length times width. So luckily for us, we don't have to figure out what the length is because we have that nice little 6 right there. You're not always going to find that. You're sometimes going to have to use the Pythagorean theorem to figure that out, but that's for another live stream, okay? So I have area equals 1/2. So 1/2 times my length, and my length here is just going to be that 8, right? The 8 is down here right now, but it also goes up to right here. So there's 1/2 times 8 times length times my, I mean, you could even say length times height. So 6 right here. Okay, so 1/2 times 8 is going to be 4. And then 4 times 6 is going to be 24, right? And now I add them up. And I have, I'm just going to add it up right here. I have 40 plus 24 is going to be 64 feet squared. So how big is my doghouse? 54 64 feet squared. That's how big my dog house is. Okay, so you can make this up. I mean, you even just Google composite shapes. I have a video where I go over even more composite shapes, not a live video, but just a pre-recorded video. So definitely check that out. But what I want to know is, do you like me doing these live stream videos? Or do you like more just the pre-recorded videos that I have? Comment in the chat because I am here for you. I want to help you in the best way that I can. So do you like the live streams or do you like the pre-recorded videos or both? Both. So comment and tell me. So I'm gonna, okay, you love it? You love it. Which one? Which one? Both live stream or you love both? Okay, both. Okay, fantastic. I'll keep doing both. I think that it's really important to have this connection. I love. Oh, look at this! It's like a little waterfall. The answers coming in. Both. I will continue doing both. I think it's important to connect with you through the live stream, but then also doing doing the pre-recorded videos as well. So Jacqueline says she wants to say thank you. It helped you pass your first GED subject, your RLA. Jacqueline, that is so exciting. I'm thrilled for you. I'm like over here doing a little happy dance for you. Congratulations on passing. I'm so happy for you. Okay, so one last time, if Jacqueline, this doesn't apply to you because you already passed your essay, but a lot of you haven't. So make sure that you click the link that I just put in the chat with my free masterclass, okay? It's going to be happening tomorrow, which is Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern time, and then also on Wednesday at 3:30 Eastern time. So you definitely want to make sure that you check that out because I'm going to provide you some amazing tips so that you actually pass that writing test. So many people get very nervous about the essay, but the essay is not something to be nervous about. The essay is something that you can totally do. If you follow my step-by-step techniques, you can get it. And I have full confidence. I have people pass the essay that have been out of school that are fresh dropouts, maybe are 16, 17, just dropped out of high school. And I have other students that are maybe in their 40s, 50s, 60s that have followed my techniques and have passed the essay. I've even had students that are non-native English speakers who maybe aren't super keen on grammar that have passed the essay because they've followed what I've taught them. So it is so important that you attend this free webinar if you haven't already, okay? Because I'm going to share with you some important secrets that will really help you pass your essay so that you can focus on other things like this, math. Math is going to be a lot more challenging than the essay because the essay has I will provide you exactly what you need. Okay, my friends, that is all for tonight. Thank you so much for joining me. I love being on these live streams and I care so deeply for each of you. I know that you're going to get this. I believe in you. Practice, practice, practice. You've got this, my friends. And I guess I will see most of you tomorrow or on Wednesday, okay, during that free live stream. But make sure that you register because it is not on YouTube, okay? You have to pre-register for this webinar. So click that link. And my friends, have a beautiful evening. Sending my love to you and have just such a great night. Thank you so much. Good night and peace.